Palestinian head of internal medicine of Main Hospital, Dr. Ayman Abu al-Ouf, killed along with 12 members of his extended family.
Here's a summary of the article.
Without warning, an Israeli airstrike destroyed the 4-story building in the Gaza Strip where Dr. Ayman Abu al-Ouf lived early on Sunday. As well as being in charge of internal medicine at Al-Shifa Hospital in Gaza City, Dr. Abu al-Ouf oversaw its response to the coronavirus pandemic. Dr. Abu al-Ouf had left the hospital only around an hour before the strike that leveled his home on Gaza City's Al-Wahida Street, which is lined with apartment buildings and shops. The Israeli military said it had struck an underground military structure, belonging to the militant group Hamas, which controls Gaza, beneath the street. Dr. Abu al-Ouf was buried under the rubble for almost 12 hours, but was alive for 5 to 6 hours, according to one of the doctors he trained, Haya Aga. Gaza's health ministry says at least 227 people, including 102 children and women, have been killed in Israeli strikes since the hostilities between Palestinian militants and Israel began on the 10th of May. In Israel, 12 people, including 2 children, have been killed in Palestinian rocket attacks, its medical service says. Dr. Zanin said he had left Gaza in 2017 because he wanted specialist training unavailable there.
This post received a score of 90,000, with an upvote ratio of 81%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
One thing this leaves out is that the strike was without warning.
Every time this happens, the response is usually, "We warned them, but even if we didn't, we got Hamas, and even if we didn't, it doesn't matter because it could have been Hamas. Why are you being so anti-Semitic?"
Discussing this with a friend yesterday, they literally said Israel warns them beforehand. Like that makes it totally fine. If someone levels my home or my neighborhood, where am I going with my family and pets? What's not a target? It's not like the Palestinians can just check into the Four Seasons in the non-existent safe zone and wait it out.
Just imagine the psychological terror of being told you have an hour to grab what you can because your home is about to be destroyed. As many have pointed out, an hour is a very high estimate, it is often mere minutes.
There was a guy who sent one of his kids to stay with his brother and took in one of his brother's kids because that way if one of the groups is killed their entire family isn't wiped out.
I saw an interview where one woman was saying that many families will huddle together in the same room so that if they get bombed no one has to live without the rest of the family. Which is just as horrifyingly pragmatic.
The daily podcast by the NY Times. The interview with the Palestinian girl was heartbreaking.
That podcast was gut-wrenching. The way he signed off with, "It was an honor to meet you." Like he knew there's a good chance she could be killed in a strike and he was saying goodbye.
Greater than Dr. Abu al-Ouf's 15-year-old son Omar is the only member of their family who survived the attack. He is currently being treated for his injuries and does not know that his parents and 2 siblings are dead. Holy fuck, that's tragic.
And in a few years Israel will be like, why does this guy hate us? Greater than few years, more like a few minutes.
Sounds like hummus. What hospital is he at? IDF, probably. What hospital is he at? You know what, never mind, we'll just bomb them all.
What's the difference between a hospital and a Hamas base? Israel, none whatsoever.
This is so unjust. 3 generations wiped out with one bomb. A son with no siblings, no parents or grandparents, lying injured in a hospital that's probably stretched to its limit. Palestinians are human too. What the fuck are we gonna do to stop this?
If there's one thing the UN is worthless at, is stopping human rights abuse. Either they wag their stupid fingers and say, "You're not supposed to do that," or tell America to deal with it. Because, let's face it, it's always America. No other country has the military budget to even come close. Without a serious political upheaval, no politician who cares about being re-elected will ever suggest an invasion of Israel.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.